Hello?
Hey, I says the year is 1999.
What?
What?
Why are you talking like that?
I'm reading a script. My line says, hey, I says the year is 1999. I don't really get it, but...
No, what says, AI says the year is 1999.
Actually, that makes more sense.
The episode's about 1999, the year that brought us what some people believe is the biggest scam in human history.
Religion.
No, Y2K.
I don't know, Scott. Y2K.
I'm not doing this with you. AI says the year is 1999, it was the year of Y2K, The Matrix, and was immortalised in the song 1999 by Prince.
Oh, right, so before Epstein Island.
Different Prince.
This is me.
And this is me.
And welcome to...
What's My Age Again?
So, CJ, it's time for us to prompt our resident AI.
I don't like him.
He's not real keen on you either. Just watch your back.
I can unplug him.
He knows you're trying to disconnect him.
As long as I don't end up in hospital and he unplugs me.
You might get locked outside the pod bay doors, though.
Welcome to 1999, the year the world stood on the edge of a new millennium, nervously clutching its computers and wondering if time itself was about to crash. It was a year of futuristic movies, digital revolutions, and analog fear. The internet was escaping the basement. Pop culture was going global, and the world was asking the same question. Is everything about to break at midnight?
So the year's 1999 and Bill Clinton's the president of the US. Tony Blair is the UK Prime Minister. The Australian Prime Minister is a little guy called John Howard. And 1999 was the first time we were introduced to a guy we know as Vladimir Putin, who came to power on the very last day of 1999.
He was put in power in the last day of 1999. The world population in 1999 was 6 billion. So comparing to our last episode in 1983, it was up by 1.3 billion from 4.7.
Okay.
And is in fact, at 6 billion is 2.3 billion less than it is now, 25 years later.
Well,
or 26 years later.
Not scary at all.
Yeah. Part of the reason for that, I think, is because people are dying later, which we established in a previous episode of why life expectancy is getting longer, because people aren't dying as early. In 1999, males would die at 76.2 years and females at 81.8.
It was mandated.
And woman dated. That's compared to, so 76.2 in 99 compared to 81.1 for men now, and 81.8 compared to 85.1 for women.
Okay. Yeah. So significant improvement.
Yeah.
Right. The next question really for you is, where were you in 1999?
Where were you? I was married. I had 2 children and one on the way. Hopefully he doesn't ever listen to this. Yes, one on the way. I'd gone back to school and I was studying for my master's degree in commerce, which I now have, and that and $5 will get me a cup of coffee. I had 2 jobs. One was working for a company that used to duplicate videos.
Right.
And it was at the time in 99 was the time when we were moving from like VHS videos to CDs.
Right.
Which is a very different process. If I was to say to you, how do you reckon they make like 500 copies of a video?
I really never thought about it. I have no idea. I would imagine it's some kind of industrial process. I don't know.
It's basically there's 500 video recorders and somebody walks around and puts a tape in each one. And there's the industrial process is that there's like a control deck and the person presses play on the master tape and record on the others, and they all record at the same time. But the thing that was really interesting about it was, aside from there's like tons of video players, was that to make sure the quality was perfect, that there wasn't any glitches or dramas or anything through it, whoever was on shift had to watch whatever movie it was. And I said to them, dude, this is the best job in the world. So you literally get paid to just sit here in a comfy chair and watch movies all day. And he's like, yes. He said, it's fantastic if you're watching like Die Hard. It's not really good on the 9th watch of The Life and Times of Princess Diana. So, that's a good point.
Yeah, fair.
Yes. It was also the year that I discovered Microsoft Word styles. So I created a template for the company's performance management program that was going to be used globally. And I got to do my first international trip to roll this out. But I discovered I didn't know how to use Microsoft Word styles very well. And it did, like, I'd create it as a style for like a heading, and then it wouldn't stick. And so I come back and the heading wasn't the same as it was supposed to be. And so I'd have to recreate it again, but it wouldn't let me create it because I'd used that name already. So I had to come up with a different name for it. And so I got up to about the 14th one and I just called it fucking heading. Thought nothing else of it. And then my boss called me into her office about a month later and said, do you know much about Microsoft Word headings? And I'm like, not really. Like, I know, because you just sent out a document to everybody in the company around the world that's got the fucking heading in it. Well, that's not good.
And that was the last thing she ever said to you, other than fired.
But I did get to do my first overseas thing. It was also because the internet was starting to become popular. And most people only really, I think, had the internet at work still. So I was hanging out with the IT guys and gals, in fact, back then. And one of them was saying that there was lots of people watching porn at work.
As you do.
And so there's so many things wrong with that. But back at those days, he'd sent out a memo to say, can you stop looking at porn on your work computer? We can see what you're doing. Just stop. You need to stop doing this. It's against company policy.
Stop it or you will go blind.
And he said, like, nobody was paying attention. So he had this brilliant idea, which is one of my favorite ideas to this day. He printed out a list of all the sites that people were going to, like the top 10 sites that people were going to, the URL, and then the name of the person who was going there, and then how long they were spending there per week. And then he blanked the names out and stuck it up on the wall in the lunchroom and just hand wrote underneath, next time I put this up, I'm not blanking the names out. And he said nobody was watching porn at work after that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing in 1999. Fucking most things up. And where were you?
Where was I? I was still in my first marriage. I was still in the printing industry. And it just reminded me that not the porn so much, but about internet at work. If they'd put down the websites I was going to, or not the website because it wasn't a website, but I was heavily into IRC, Internet Relay Chat. And I would knock off work and spend an hour and a half after work chatting with people in chat rooms.
As opposed to the people I worked with who were knocking off at work.
And I'd go home like at 6:30 at night, which for me was late. And, it's a hell of a day. I've been so busy. You seem to be so busy nowadays. So there was that. But I was actually looking at my life story thing. I think we mentioned in a previous episode that I'd gone through and plotted all by what happened every year. And there's nothing really in 1999. Except I realised that the next year is the year I started going to university for the first time because I didn't go till I was 37. So clearly 1999 was the year I decided to go to university and made all the applications and decided to change my life. So actually, in many ways, 1999 was a pivotal year, but I didn't actually acknowledge that in my life story thing. So there you go. Right. But that was where I was.
Okay, it was the year of getting shit done for the new millennium.
Exactly.
You were planning to go to university. I was putting fucking heading in Microsoft Word documents. So, we were up to a lot of things. What songs were we listening to in 1999?
Well, I don't know what songs you were listening to in 1999, but these were the most popular songs of 1999. Baby One More Time by Britney Spears.
I wasn't listening to that.
Okay, I didn't think you would have been, nor was I, but it would. Well, actually, I was incidentally listening to it because my ex-wife would always play that kind of crap, and I was never allowed to listen to anything I wanted to. So don't even talk to me about that. Not that I'm bitter or anything.
Yeah, it's good that you're over it.
Believe by Cher, which, if we talk about Mondegreens, the misheard lyrics, I wouldn't say this was a misheard lyric, but I would always think when it said, "Do you believe in life after love?" I thought it was more about Richard Gere, and it was, "Do you believe in mice up your bum?" My Name Is by Eminem.
And then this is before the medication.
Du hast by Rammstein.
I used to have not anything as bizarre as your believed one, but for Du hast, I changed the words to do you have milk? You have milk. You have milk from cow. You have milk from cow. You have milk from cow. Well, I shall buy some now. And then for the chorus was, if you'd like to find a bargain, I would fly to Copenhagen. Ah, nice. Nice.
Good. Wait and Bleed by Slipknot, which I would not have been listening to at the time.
I don't know if I was listening to Slipknot in 1999 or not, actually.
Okay, one song that we definitely, well, it may have been a sleeper coming back hit, but 1999 by Prince actually came out in the early 1980s, so it was probably pretty popular because it was talking about that year, but it definitely was not of that year.
The album opener introduces an apocalyptic universe that asks the listener to live their life until they can't anymore.
Okay.
Any song that starts off with "Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I only want to have some fun." Yeah, it's basically about the end of the world, but the chorus is confusing.
How so?
So it's like, so tonight I'm going to party like it's 1999. But he says, the line prior to that, 2000, 00. So 20,000.
Okay.
So in 20,000, the party's over. So I'm going to party like it's 1999. I've still got 18,000 years that I don't have to worry until the end of the world.
Well, I guess it's it wouldn't have scanned otherwise. If it was 2000 parties over, oops, out of time, it might not have sounded as good as 2000 00. It wouldn't have just scanned as well.
Yeah.
But it makes no sense. I agree.
So sorry, Prince, if that's your real name, which it isn't. I like the fact that his name was Prince, and then he changed his name to a symbol, and because nobody could pronounce it, he went from Prince to the artist formerly known as Prince.
Okay, and now we have Andrew Windsor, the Prince formerly known as.
So
life imitates art.
Yeah. The song's quite weird. It's all about if I'm going to die, I'm going to dance myself to death, basically. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, he kind of did in a way, because he died because he had these hip problems because he would dance on stage in these ridiculously high-heeled shoes. And it was the hip problems that caused him to abuse painkillers, which is what eventually killed him.
Wow. There you go.
So he did dance himself to death in a way.
Right. It could also be, because apparently, according to this song, he's got a lion in his pocket.
And baby, she's ready to roar.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Speaking of the end of the world, they did a bit of research. And in July 1999, apparently Nostradamus predicted the end of the world. He didn't predict it in 1999, is whenever he wrote it. He said the world was going to come to an end in July 1999.
Did he though?
Well, who knows? I remember reading when Nostradamus was really big, again, not when he was alive, but like in the 80s. And I got hold of a Nostradamus book and was reading the things, and it was saying, "Oh, this is clearly in reference to whatever it was that was happening in the world at the time." And then because I like to wander around secondhand shops and secondhand bookshops, I managed to find an edition that was from like the early 70s. And so this was the late 80s. I found one in the early 70s. And in the early 70s, the exact same quatrain was, well, this is clearly a reference to whatever it was that was happening in the 70s at the time. So in answer to your question, no, he didn't.
No,
but
well,
people thought he might have.
Yeah, well, looking at Google's AI overview, Nostradamus never explicitly predicted a single end of the world year, but cryptic quatrains are often interpreted as foretelling widespread catastrophes. And recent interpretations link them with this year, actually last year, and this year, and next year. Right. So who knows?
Well, 18th of August, 1999, the amazing Criswell.
Who?
The amazing Criswell. He was a well-known psychic, apparently.
Not that well known.
Well, no, he was an American guy.
That makes him well known.
Well, I think he was on Carson and stuff like that. I think.
Okay.
A couple of kind of culty people. One of them had said 1999, but he'd also predicted it in 1998. So,
well, if he keeps doing it, eventually be right.
Yeah, and have you heard of the Berlitz School of Language?
I have not.
Oh, okay. I thought you would have, because I had. It's quite a popular foreign language learning thing. Right. So Charles Berlitz, who was part of the Berlitz family, Berlitz School of Language, predicted that it would happen in 1999 as well.
Okay.
But it says, the linguist predicted the end of the world would occur in this year. He did not predict how it would happen, stating it might involve nuclear devastation, asteroid impact, pole shift, or other Earth changes. So he was kind of covering all his bases.
Pity he didn't get the year right.
Well, not really. Although we wouldn't be doing this fucking thing. So anyway.
As I say, pity he didn't get that right.
But that leads me to, clever segue, Y2K.
Oh, yes, the Y2K.
Lots of people thought that it was going to be the end of the world. There's also a sidebar. There was a bit of a thing around people saying Revelations was 1999 and 2000 in the Bible.
Oh, who knows what Revelation says? It's absolute load of drivel.
Second coming of Christ.
Yep.
Leave it.
I'm not going there.
And Santa thinks he's got it bad. Right, on that note. But first, beer.
I like beer because it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad, because the beer, it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer.
So, CJ, what's your beer again?
Fucking hell.
Can I ask you an easier question?
Should have asked me before I drank the beer. The more observant listeners of ours will have recognised that we're doing What's My Beer Again in a different spot. But it's the same old What's My Beer Again.
So, sorry.
Well, my beer again, thanks for asking.
I did. You blanked on the question.
My beer again is from Badlands Brewery, craft brewery in Orange in New South Wales. This beer is a Jackson, Jaxon.
Like a bogan boy's name.
Well, they are in Orange, yeah. Dangerously drinkable.
Just like hemlock.
It's 5.9 red IPA. Try and read it in Orange language. Turn and loosen your coat and calm your fever with Jackson. I don't know what the fuck that is. A red IPA in the Badlands tradition. Complex, smooth, layered malt flavors exploded with New World hops. Molten hops in sweet harmony like Johnny and June. What?
What the hell?
The fuck is Johnny and June? Maybe Johnny and June and Jackson are people.
One would hope.
I don't know. Sorry, Jackson, if I've inadvertently insulted you. Although if your name's Jackson, you're probably used to it by now. Anyway, it's a nice red colour. What does it taste like? Oh fuck! It's actually really nice. Yeah, it's really good. It's I'm annoyed now that they're in Orange because it's a long fucking way to go to get any. Because I got this through a special order thing, and this is actually really good. I will absolutely try and find some more of this. Shout out to Badlands Brewery and to Jackson.
Very good.
Yeah. And what's your beer again?
Okay, well, I've got something exciting and interesting too.
Oh.
Long-term listeners will know that I, for reasons best known to myself, tend to drink beers that are not always the best.
The best. They're barely beer.
Well, I'm drinking what I have left in the fridge, which is a bottle of TsingTao, which I've drunk before. I know, I've done it before. But
so hang on, can I just clarify? You've got in the fridge a bottle of TsingTao that you've drunk before.
So is it Euron? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And if so, does it taste better?
Well, no, it's not. I have drunk TsingTao before, and I've used TsingTao as my beer again before, but this is not one that's passed through me and it's being recycled in that way.
Right.
But I have got a new angle, because last time I talked about TsingTao, I think we were talking about the gentleman who urinated in the
vat. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. He probably got the supervisor's job. But there was one other interesting thing about TsingTao I found out recently, which is that if you're in the city of TsingTao, which is actually spelt differently to the brewery spelt is TsingTao, but the city of Qingdao is Quingdao, but they're both said the same. Okay. And the city of Qingdao, which is where the home of Qingdao beer is, that you can go to the local corner store and buy a plastic bag filled with Qingdao beer. And you can walk home with it like you're walking home with a new goldfish. Now, I think that's an interesting innovation.
I think your definition of innovation and mine may differ slightly. If you drink too much of it and you happen to get hit by a car or something, somebody brings over a shopping bag full of blood.
Well, I was thinking, if you're drinking Qingdao out of a plastic bag, then you've got something to vomit into afterwards.
Or during.
I think it's win-win.
I think you're going to say if you're drinking Qingdao out of a bag, then you've got bigger problems than whether you get hit by a car. You're probably happy about it.
That too. Anyway, that's what we're drinking.
Alrighty. And shout out to Psycho Stick for letting us use their song Beer for the intro.
Y2K.
I don't know. Y2K.
I said we were doing this. Yeah. So what's your recollection of what that was all about?
So, Linking back to a previous episode where we talked about the Commodore 64, which had 64 kilobytes of RAM, is because there wasn't very much memory. Computer programmers went, we need to kind of put the minimum amount of information in. So they said, we don't need to put that it's 1999 or 1975 or 1980, whatever. We can just put 83, 92, and we'll be fine. And that's enough for the dates. I'm assuming that there were probably some of them who went, fuck, 2000, this is all going to go to shit. And just went, I don't care. It's not going to be my problem. I'll need to be out of the business by then. Or they went, if we fix it now, there's not going to be a chance to make any money off this when that comes.
Okay.
So it would be it would flip over to the year 2000. Computers would not be able to handle 2000, so it would just go 00, and everything would think it was in the 1900s. Planes would fall out of the sky because they would go, it's only 1900, I haven't been invented yet. And everything would collapse.
Okay.
That's my recollection.
But
what's your recollection?
My recollection was very similar. I know we were all worried about things like nuclear weapons detonating or something like that, or, you know, the traffic lights not working, which is a bit of a different problem, but still annoying.
That's what most people classify nuclear weapons accidentally triggering. It's just as annoying.
By that time, computers were running lots of things. When you think about the 1980s, computers really only were becoming mainstream. By 1999, lots of things were computerized in a way that I don't think anyone really expected.
And the issue was that not that planes would fall out of the sky because they went, oh, it's 1900. It was around things like automated maintenance systems would go, oh, this engine hasn't been maintenanced in minus 99 years, so we need to take it offline. And so there was concerns that there was like automated systems would just break and go, this needs to be taken offline because it's out of date, or it's that bank and financial transactions would kind of go to shit, because it wouldn't have been so much that there was machines taking over the world and catastrophe, and it was going to be just things would break, and like a plane may not fall out of the sky, but something in the system
might fly into a building.
No, they hadn't worked that out till a couple of years later. Is that something in the systems that are all attached to planes would break, which would then have a knock-on effect that would break something else. And the other thing was that this kind of didn't occur to me until I was researching this just before we started. I don't know if you do the same. Like when I think of Y2K, I kind of think of January the 1st.
Right.
But I realized that if we hadn't have fixed it, I say we as though I was somehow part of it. If we hadn't have fixed it, it wouldn't have just been on January the 1st things went to shit. It would have just kept going on and on and on and on and on until everything was fucked. Because something would have broken, which would have broken something else, and then something else, and something else, and something, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it would have just kept going on and on and on. It wouldn't have just been this huge thing of at 12:01, everything grinds to a halt.
Okay.
Yeah. Some slot machines in Las Vegas went awry.
In what way?
You're asking the wrong person. I only get the skim the surface. I'm not diving deep into the actual issues and the actual problems.
I mean, I'm wondering why, to link back to a previous podcast, why we weren't more worried about sort of like war games.
Well, in fact, because apparently the Russians were hypothetically, allegedly, not that flash at what they were doing. So there was concerns that some of their missiles might accidentally get triggered. So there was Americans and Russians together in a facility in, I think it was in Canada, I can't remember. Again, didn't bother to look that far. But basically who were there to go, if something happened, they would be able to do something about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So they were kind of concerned. There apparently was some activity from Russia which they blamed on Y2K, but actually it wasn't. They just used that as an excuse.
That doesn't
They
sound
went,
like the Russians.
Sorry, that pesky Y2K.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about you, but that's the first time that I became aware of people who were like preppers, people who were
Oh
panic
yeah.
buying and getting ready for living in a bunker or something like that. I mean, I know there were bunkers, like nuclear bunkers people had, but I think they were.
I think I was probably the same. I think I may have known about them because they were around like in the Cold War as well. But I think this was the first time we would actually get to hear about these people where we wouldn't have previously.
That's true. I'm sure there were always people like that. Probably 500 years ago, there were people who were prepping for the plague or something.
Yeah. Well, apparently in the year 999, there was like mass chaos, and there was people like selling off all their stuff, and because they thought the world was going to end. So there was doomsday preppers back then. The millennium
Weren't they
millennium's
stupid?
a big thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, what actually happened as a result of Y2K?
Fuck all. Well,
sorry, I thought you said fuck off.
I said fuck all.
Sorry.
Which is not quite true. There was small things happened here and there, but for the most part, nothing happened. Which is where the conspiracy thing is, where people say, "Oh, it was all a big scam. It fucking tipped over and nothing happened." It's like, yeah, nothing happened because globally we spent $300 billion to rectify it. So what did happen was that there's a lot of IT companies cleaned up.
Yeah.
And did a whole bunch of things that that they probably didn't need to do.
I remember news broadcasts. It was always one of the last things they would they'd like do a human interest story on where we are on fixing things for Y2K. You know, where are the companies? How far along are they? And it was always kind of like, oh, we're running against time. I'm not quite sure if we'll get it done, and all that kind of stuff. But they were probably just talking it up to make more money.
Well, yeah, actually, yes. I do remember hearing a lot of that. Oh, we're going to run out of time. 2000 party's over, out of time.
Well, Prince picked it then, didn't he?
Yes. In the second song on the album, Y2K, Make It Go Away. Also, apparently, as a sidebar, the first song on the album is Party Like It's 1999. Everyone's going to die. It's the end of the world. And then there's a huge explosion, and it goes then into track 2, Little Red Corvette. So, yes, I do remember that there was a lot of, why do it when there's plenty of time? Let's wait until the last possible second to get this shit sorted out.
Yeah, that's I think my superpower is
leaving things to the last minute.
Well, no, not so much that, but knowing when to start doing things so I'll be finished at the last minute, just before the last minute.
I don't mean to rain on your parade, but this is quite similar to when you can't find something, it's always in the last place you look. It's because once you find it, you're not going to look any further. By definition, everything gets done at the last minute. Because it's the last minute, so it can't go any longer. So it's got to be done.
Okay. I think maybe I put it. My superpower is meeting deadlines.
Okay, fair enough.
Which is, and I was looking at 1999 as being a deadline rather than the last minute.
Right. I'm very much the Douglas Adams. I love deadlines. I love the sound they make as they go whooshing by. Yes. So Y2K, nothing much happened. I do remember working with people at the time who were like they had to do like a 24-hour thing. So 31st of December, they were in the office, in the boardroom, and with like all the Cheetos and Mountain Dew they could eat. And they were there until the end of January the 1st.
Okay. I was feeling pretty smug as well in 1999 because I was a Mac user, and they had 4-digit dates since the beginning. They were never going to die on the Millennium Bug thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, apparently nobody was.
No, well,
Yeah.
but they didn't have to be fixed.
Lots of places apparently just turned everything to manual. There was a couple of companies that basically pretended 2 weeks earlier that it was the year 2000 to see what would happen.
Yeah.
So most places either turned off automatic things and ran it manually, or just monitored things very closely.
Fair enough.
See, it highlights for me, as we said in the 1983 episode from War Games, it's important to keep the humans in the loop.
Yeah, fair enough.
Speaking of bad ideas, in 1999, a man named David Smith, who was a 30-year-old programmer, had the brilliant idea of creating a virus that he would send. He originally posted it to the alt.sex newsgroup, as you do, a Word document called list.doc that supposedly contained a whole bunch of adult website passwords and login details that had been stolen.
From somebody you used to work with who used to watch porn at work.
No, this guy was in America, and the Word document didn't have a header called fucking header.
Although it should have.
In fact, it wasn't a list of adult websites.
What?
Stolen passwords. I know. You can't trust anybody on alt.sex. So people who opened it would find that their computer was infected with a virus called the Melissa virus. And what the Melissa virus would do, it would just go into Outlook, find the first 50 people in your contact list, create an email with the subject line, here's that document you asked for, and then in the body, make sure you don't show anyone, or words similar to that, and then email that Word document to the first 50 people in your contact list, who would then open it.
And just to be clear, it wasn't a Word document that had all the passwords for the porn channels.
No.
Okay.
No. And it's too late now, because those passwords would have been changed by now. So essentially it went out for one person, it then sent 50 new ones out to 50 new people, who then 50 new people, and then 50 new people, and then 50 new people. And over 3 days, infected over 100,000 computers at about 300 organizations, including the US Marine Corps, the Microsoft, Intel. So as soon as you opened it, it would do that. Yeah, so David Smith thought this would be a funny, interesting thing to do, just because.
He's a dick.
He was eventually arrested on April Fool's Day, 1999, and he was given, I think, 10 months or so prison sentence, and 20 months prison and a $5,000 fine.
What was the charge? I mean, was there a law against doing that at that time?
I don't think there was specifically a law around it, and again, you're asking the wrong person for details, but they did actually create new laws after that to deal with situations like this. So the FBI created a dedicated cyber division afterwards. The other thing that was interesting about it which is, so many people may have heard of the Melissa virus. Many people aren't aware that if the document was opened and the minute it was opened matched the day of the month. So say, for example, if you opened it at 10:26 on the 26th of March,
right,
it would then insert... Remember the Simpsons episode where they're playing Scrabble and Bart puts down the word Quidjibo, which is spelled Kwyjibo, and Homer says, "What's a Quidjibo?" And Bart says, "It's a big, dumb, balding North American ape with no chin." He'd set it up so that if you opened the document when the minute matched the day, it would insert into whatever documents you had open. 22 points plus triple word score plus 50 points for using all my letters. Game's over. I'm out of here. Which is what Bart says after he puts down Quidjibo. So that's pretty. That was pretty cool. So his defense when he got caught was. It was just a joke. I don't know why he thought it would work. It didn't work for Bundy. So why was it called the Melissa virus? was named after a Florida stripper that he knew.
And boy, did she have some viruses.
So I think the moral of the story on that, if you're in a forum, the alt.sex news group, don't download and open Word documents that say this is full of porn passwords. Remember the old days when internet porn was you had to try and find a password somewhere.
The good old days.
So, interestingly, David Smith was like 30 years old, which back in those days, you had to spend a bit more time before you could write viruses and things like that. But what's interesting, or at least I think it is that after he got arrested, he apparently said, "Oh, rat on anybody you want." And the FBI said, "How would you like to spend time on the internet talking to other people who write viruses and then give them over to us?" And he went, "Fuck yeah!" So
Okay then.
yeah, so he did for a year or something. I can't find anything about where he is now, but he's probably sleeping with the fishes because he ratted out all these people. But, they paid his rent, insurance, utilities worth about $12,000 in return for him basically sitting on internet chat rooms, setting up other people who are writing viruses and then grassing on them to the FBI. So
seems fair.
Yeah, good work, David. So picture this. You're walking along a beach.
Why am I walking along the beach?
You're on holidays.
Why?
Yes.
Well, that's a bit sad, isn't it?
Look, you're walking along the beach and you find a bottle in the sand, all right? And you think, oh, brilliant, a genie.
Do I though? Because I probably think, oh, brilliant, rubbish.
Well, congratulations. Now you're missing out on 3 wishes because you couldn't be bothered to pick up a bottle.
Fair point. I pick up the bottle.
No, it's too late. You've already walked past it. Somebody else got the wishes now.
That's not how it works.
That's exactly the kind of thing that does happen in my book. Funny you should ask.
Did you just ambush me with a book plug?
I thought you said book plug. Absolutely. I put the L in subtle.
Don't you mean the B?
Is there a B? Anyway, it's a collection of short stories. Some are funny, ha-ha, and some are funny, odd.
What made you write a book like that? Wouldn't it be better if it was either all funny or all odd?
You're missing the point.
But why write that?
So when I used to say, when I was a kid, oh, that's funny, my dad used to say, you mean funny, ha-ha, or funny, odd. So each of the stories there's a mix. Some are funny, ha-ha, some are funny, odd. But the thing that's consistent about all of them is they all have a twist. Kind of like an unexpected outcome in the tale.
So why didn't you call it Tales of the Unexpected? A twist in the tale, around the twist. Why didn't you call it any of those things?
Actually, any of those probably would have been better.
So anyway, the genie is funny, odd?
No, the genie's funny, ha-ha. Genie's a surfer named Duke who can grant wishes, but they don't always go as expected.
So it's a tale of the unexpected.
And funny odd is like a small girl with oddly perfect teeth who gets cornered in an empty warehouse by a group of bullies. But this girl isn't as weak as she appears to be.
Oh, that's unexpected.
Can you not do that?
Well, so what else is in there besides homicidal children and incompetent genies?
Funny you should ask. In fact, there's 2 stories about time travel. One funny ha-ha, one funny odd. A one-sided conversation with a concierge.
And something unexpected happened?
All right, fine. Let's just go back to the episode.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm done.
Okay, so where can people find this masterpiece? In their local bookstore?
What? No, bookstores have got standards. Amazon will publish any shit. So just search for... No, it is actually pretty good. It's got reviews and people like it. If you go to Amazon and you search Funny You Should Ask by Elwood Scott, make sure you do Funny You Should Ask by Elwood Scott because there's a couple of Funny You Should Asks. Had I thought to look for that, I maybe have called it Tales of the Unexpected, and then there wouldn't have been any confusion.
There's a few of those as well.
Yeah, possibly. It's unexpected.
And now capitalism's had its turn. Let's get back to the episode.
So there were some big movies came out in 1999.
Mm-hmm. Name some.
All right, I will. One of the best movies ever to come out, Office Space. For anybody listening, if you haven't seen Office Space and you work in an office, I think it probably still holds up.
It's funny because I'd never seen it and I kept on hearing about it. So about 2 years ago, I watched it, and I was unimpressed. I kept on seeing the meme of the guy with the cup of coffee. I forget what he says, but
Oh, yeah. Lumberg.
yeah.
If you could just go
But-
ahead and...
Just because I don't live in that world, don't work in that world, I don't get it. I think that's probably what the problem is rather than it being bad, it's just that it doesn't resonate with me.
Oh, well, that took a turn in a direction I wasn't expecting. I thought you were going to say, and I watched it and I thought it was great.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, then we'll just put down that your taste in movies is right up there with your taste in beer. So, Office Space, despite what my podcasting compadre says, is one of the greatest movies of all time. It was also the year that gave us Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels,
Right.
10 Things I Hate About You, American Pie, Eyes Wide Shut, Mystery Men, The Iron Giant, one of the other great movies that's hugely underrated, American Beauty, Being John Malkovich, Dogma, great film. It's just come out as a re-release, 25-year anniversary re-release.
Okay.
Highly recommended. First Pokemon movie, Galaxy Quest.
Which I love.
Yes, great film. And another shout out to Alan Rickman. And of course, the most important movie of 1999, The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue.
Okay.
Now, I thought what would be fun was, rather than just read all the movies out like I just did, is to save some, and we'll do a game of, I'll read out a quote from a movie and you tell me what movie it's from.
Right.
And it may or may not be one of the movies I've mentioned,
Okay.
because it might be my clever way of getting to mention the other ones.
Ooh.
I'll start with the most, because I've got a few from each. So I'll start with kind of the harder quotes and then to the easier versions.
Mm-hmm.
There is no spoon.
The Matrix.
Oh, fuck off. No, it's from Sadie Goes to Heroin Town. Okay, it's smartass. I would not have got that. Do you know who it was said by?
I don't, but I'll say Morpheus.
No, it's credited to Spoon Boy. Yes, the other quotes I had were, I know Kung Fu, Welcome to the Real World, and you take the blue pill, the story ends, yada, yada.
Yep.
They don't know they're dead.
Sixth Sense.
Yes. The thing that I find most interesting about the Sixth Sense. The other quote from that was, I see dead people. Do you know the character's name? Like the kid's name?
No.
Cole Sear. Sounds like he should be driving a NASCAR.
Sounds like Cole Saw.
See, that's what happens if you don't put the medication on your cold sore. You suddenly start seeing dead people. I am Jack's raging bile duct.
Fight Club.
You're fucking reading there off the script, you prick.
No, I'm not.
Yes, it was Fight Club. Fight the Club. Was the Italian version of Fight Club. Do you know who said that line?
No.
Correct answer. Because there isn't one. He's just called the narrator. He doesn't actually have a name.
Uh-huh.
He's just Edward Norton's voiceover.
I see.
Yes. The other obvious quote was, the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
I never would have guessed that.
This next one, after my first divorce, I used to try and convince myself of this a lot. And it kind of worked. It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.
Yeah. Quite freeing, quite cathartic.
Yeah. So it also highlights the fact that you no longer have any excuses for the things that you're not doing. And you've got to try and blame yourself. This one time at band camp.
No, American Pie.
Mm-hmm. I'm tired, boss.
No, I don't know that one.
Good. I was going to say, if you got that one, I would know that you were cheating. Sometimes the Green Mile seems so long. You going to guess?
Oh, the Green Mile. That was so obvious I wasn't going to say.
Yes. Other movies that came out that I don't have quotes for, but Man on the Moon, which is the Andy Kaufman one with Jim Carrey.
Right.
South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. And the other one that I find really interesting, which I realise that I say that all the time, Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
Blair Witch Project, which was the first kind of this. It started the found footage concept in films,
Okay.
and it was basically when I did some research into it. I found it really interesting. So basically, they just advertised and got 3 actors, sent them out into the woods, and they said, "We'll leave you a message every day that tells you where you need to go from the morning until the evening," and then mentally tortured them for 30 days. And
Sounds
said,
great.
and you need to film it, and we'll turn it into a movie. So basically, all the stuff that's happening is all like it's. Some people would have said maybe they could have got actors who could have acted. It's instead of putting real people through the horrific things that they put them through. So it was basically they filmed themselves in real life doing all that stuff. They used their real names
Right.
in it, so they didn't have character names. The other thing that was quite unusual for that time and bizarre was the 3 main actors had to go into hiding after the movie or after filming was completed, and I think it was 3 or 4 months after the movie came out, because the marketing campaign was, is this actually real?
Right.
So they had wanted like missing persons posters for them. They were the actors weren't allowed to be seen in public, so they had to lock themselves away for 3 months so that they could continue this kind of discussion, or where people would discuss of, oh, is it a movie or is it actually a real thing? So it was quite clever.
Okay.
Like it cost something like $300,000 to make all up, and it drew in like 200 million or something.
Okay.
And the 3 actors got fuck all from it and had to sue and got 300,000 each or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, better than nothing.
There's lots of interesting stuff.
Good. I've got a quote for you. See if you can tell me what movie this is from. Not quite sure if I can do the voice. Miss, I think we're going back now. I can give you another one if you like.
Mr. Johnson has a stroke.
You should follow me now, Okie Day.
Dave's day trip to the casually racist seaside. I think it's supposed to be Jar Jar Binks.
This one would have given it away. Mr. Jar Jar Binks. I mean, this is great. I've got an entire page of Jar Jar Binks quotes, which are just absolute crap. My mouth, Annie, I'm stuck. Hey, my tongue is fat, Annie. Sounds like it could have come from one of those porn sites. Anyway, what movie are they from? Which came out in 1999.
Jar Jar Binks goes to Hollywood. Star Wars episode something or other, The Phantom Pain.
Yes, it's The Phantom Menace, yes.
Which I wasn't a huge fan of. I'd lost interest in Star Wars by then.
God. I remember I could not wait to see that movie. And when I got into it, I just hated it from the minute it started to the minute it ended.
I think that seems to be the general consensus.
Terrible, terrible movie. And they never, ever got any better. The first 3 are the best, but even the third one, I'm not a massive fan of. The Return of the Jedi. That's the one with the teddy bears.
Ah, right.
That's pretty bad, but at least it brought an end to the trilogy. But yeah, really, after Empire Strikes Back, it's all been crap.
Right.
Which could be a controversial take, depending if you're a massive Star Wars nerd.
So, Scott, that was 1999. What are your takeaways?
Well, my biggest takeaway from 1999 is that we managed to totally ignore the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal. And I think basically because we just couldn't go there. And besides Bill Clinton, I mean, well, the more we know about him, the worse it all seems. We also didn't get to the Columbine High School shooting because there's not much comedy gold there.
No.
I think 1999 was personally quite a big year, I think, because it was as I said earlier, one of those fundamental years where you make this big decision that affects the rest of your life in ways that you can't even imagine. But as far as that whole year goes, I mean, I think it was pretty consequential, really, particularly when you look at the knock-on effects. Like, I mean, Vladimir Putin's still around and still causing trouble.
Yes, so they say.
Your takeaways.
My takeaways. Well, I learned how to use styles in Microsoft Word. It was an interesting year. There's a lot going on. I think it was a year where things weren't that bad, if that makes sense. Like Y2K was a big thing because of what it was, but if that was happening at the end of last year, for example, it probably would have been on page 4 or something because there's so much other shit going on. Columbine was, I think, was the first one of those, whereas now it's, every second Thursday and twice after lunch.
Yeah.
So I think it was 99 was kind of probably the end of the era of things might go all right. My key takeaway is still don't take humans out of the loop.
No, fair. The other thing we didn't mention were people who died in 1999. Stanley Kubrick, JFK Jr., Owen Hart. Books that came out in 1999. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. A Girl with the Pearl Earring and its sequel, The Girl with the Pearl Necklace. And the third Jack Reacher book came out in 1999.
There's clearly some kind of segue between The Girl with the Pearl Necklace and Jack Reacher. On that note, I think we'll wrap it up.
You should. So say goodnight, CJ.
Good night, CJ.
Remember to like and subscribe and send us emails at the old Filomi. Sorry, that's a typo. The old folks home 69 at gmail.com.
Or it doesn't matter. You can send it to either because I haven't checked the email since, I don't know, 2023.
What happens when a history-obsessed writer and his beer-loving best friend decide to ditch the guidebooks and dive headfirst into Europe's past? Unearthed, a history nerd abroad in Europe.
You'll love it.
Get it now at books.by/Scott Edwin Williams.